Imagine business software with the power to predict future spend. It's here. Resource Risk Control introduce Asset-GenZ, the world's first asset management software that predicts and links asset life, level of service, business risk, and more. Asset-GenZ ensures value for money from assets and maximizes return on investment. It's also scalable and accessible worldwide. Asset-GenZ. Measure it, manage it, know the future. Email info@assetgenz.com.au.
I'd like to introduce Jeff to Asset-GenZ and explain what he does within Asset-GenZ.
Thanks, Mel. My role within Asset-GenZ is to provide the necessary data support for the development and ongoing improvements to the Asset-GenZ database, which of course, as we know, Mel, aligns us to the ISO 55000 suite and enables an organisation to align and be far more efficient and improve its position in the world as far as an organisation goes, as far as world's best practice is concerned. And as we were discussing before we started recording about change within an organisation, continuous improvement, it's a great thing to have in an organisation, doing all of those small things on a day-to-day basis that make a big difference to the day-to-day work. The board where you hang the tools, the special tool for doing a lift of some description, the rewriting of an SWI, the changes in the chain of command, or how people work within the micro group when they're working and so on. Just those small things that you do on a day-to-day business. But if you want a seismic change in a business, there is just no other choice. That has to come from a manager. And a great example of that is a large organisation that took on developing a version of SAP so that it was across multiple sites instead of having standalone databases. They went to one version of SAP right across their whole business. Now that was a seismic change to the way that they go about their business. So if you want a seismic change, it must come from a manager. I've worked at a number of places now, and if you want a seismic change to the business, even just a seismic change within maintenance, when the maintenance manager decides that there is going to be a change, it's significant and the culture can change with it and everything can move forward. But until such times as that seismic change happens, it will just stay constant as continuous improvement, but you will never get that seismic change and step up and move closer towards world's best practice.
Jeff, can I just ask you, in your experience in asset management, how does this meet the organisational objectives?
Well, certainly when it comes to the seismic change, invariably the businesses hit a wall. They're continuing to do their continuous improvement, their day-to-day stuff, and it's working very well. And KPIs are improving all the time. They're making incremental improvements each day, and the business is stable. But as we all know, stable's not good enough anymore. It must be stable and it must be continuing to improve. It can't change, it must improve. So change is one thing, but improvement is another. So change for the benefit of the greater good and efficiency is what you must change for, not change for the sake of change. I've seen plenty of that over the time as well. You must make change that continually improves. It must be a benefit. And with Asset-GenZ and the improvements that brings to a company, aligning a significant amount of information and making strategy, life, risk and performance and bringing those together into the one data is not unlike the aligning of one database for every mine site. You're now aligning another database to run in parallel with that to bring all of that additional information together. You must have risk aligned to an asset and it must be visible and that transparency must be there so that you can compare the risk of that asset against other assets, not only within that given site, but within the whole company. And once you can start to get that power, that sort of data to your business, your organisation will improve exponentially.
I agree. So thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it, Tom. What you've said, very passionate, and I know where Asset-GenZ is going, AGZ, Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, Mel.
Imagine business software with the power to predict future spend. It's here. Resource Risk Control introduced Asset-GenZ, the world's first asset management software that predicts and links asset life, level of service, business risk, and more. Asset-GenZ ensures value for money from assets and maximizes return on investment. It's also scalable and accessible worldwide. Asset-GenZ. Measure it, manage it, know the future. Email info@assetgenz.com.au.